Are you a beginner looking to jumpstart your career in the tech industry? A tech internship is an excellent way to gain hands-on experience, learn new skills, and build your network. But with so much competition, landing an internship can be challenging. That's why we've put together this episode on how to land a tech internship job in 2023 as a beginner. Our tips and strategies will help you stand out from the crowd, showcase your potential, and secure an internship that sets you on the path to success in the tech industry. Whether you're a recent graduate, a career changer, or just starting out, this information will help you navigate the internship search process and find the perfect opportunity to launch your tech career. Tag along. You're listening to the TechNet Show, your weekly dose of the latest tech stories, analysis, interviews, and opportunities in the world of tech. If you're a techie or an enthusiast looking to stay up to date, this is the show for you. Be a part of the conversation and stay connected to our tech community on Telegram at TechNet Show. Hey guys, welcome to the TechNet Show podcast. Victoria Imager right here. And I'm happy to be doing this with my reliable co-host, Samuel Bassi. Samuel, how are things going in this job search arena with so many issues plaguing the world right now?
Hi guys, it's great to be here. Well, it is what it is as far as continued level of inflation and the cash scarcity are concerned. I mean, there have never been a time in history when the world actually was without problems, so it's actually normal. So we should not fret. But we are not going to dwell on all the negatives. Interestingly, people are still landing big gigs by day. If you check LinkedIn, in fact, almost all the 70% of the posts that you see on LinkedIn, depending on your timeline, will be job testimonies and the rest. So people are still, getting into big companies. People are still getting big, even with the way things are. So the job search arena, as you call it, actually still remain competitive and difficult, particularly in the tech sector. But getting a spot is actually still possible, which is why we are discussing it. How can newbies get internship in the tech industry as fast as possible? That is what we are discussing today. Whether it's a paid internship or unpaid internship, how can you get a role in a big or in not even a big company, a tech company?
Yeah, and an internship role is actually important because it helps you to scale faster in the industry as it provides you with real projects and experiences that boost your CV and chances of a full-time permanent role. So landing a tech internship job in 2023 requires a combination of preparation, networking, and persistence. Now, there are certain criteria to actually keep in mind while trying to get an internship. Some you may have heard before, while others may sound pretty new to you. However, if these key tips that we're going to share with you shortly are duly followed, you'll be well on your way to landing a tech internship role as fast as possible. Now, here are some key steps you need to take to increase your chances of securing a tech internship role in 2023. So let's get started. First, you need to build a strong resume. Yes, it has been said over and over again. What does that even mean? Now, your resume is like your first impression to potential employers. So it's important it is well written and tailored to the position you're applying for. Highlight any relevant skills and projects that you've worked on, even if they're not directly related to the tech industry, right? Now, to edit your resume, it's important to ensure that you have curated projects or sample of work to showcase. Now, in our previous episode, we actually talked about how to learn anything and master it, right? How to learn a skill and master it in 50 days. Yeah. So, and in that we actually mentioned when you're learning something, you're actually going to put it into practice, especially in tech. If you're learning programming, you're learning web design, you're definitely going to create a project at the end of your training that you can use as a sample. So definitely you must have acquired a few samples.
Vicky, they may not actually wait till the end of the program.
It depends on who the training.
Yeah, when you want to learn any concept or if you learn any a particular thing, you try to work on it, try to build something with what you have learned so far. I think that's actually a better way of building a portfolio. If you're waiting to the end of the project to build one, at the end of the day, you may only have one project to showcase. But if you do pay, okay, I've learned this, let me put this into practice. You build this project, build this. At the end of before the end of the training, you will have like 6 to 7 projects in your name.
Yeah, that's right. So you can have like 2 to 5, depending on what you're learning actually. Now, rule of thumb is that you need to have a link to this portfolio. That's the sample of work that you have to show. So you can use Google Drive. I use Google Drive. I have some of my samples uploaded on my Google Drive. So I just provide the link, and I also use Behance. So you can use that and use Notion, Dropbox, GitHub, and the rest. Or if you want to even give yourself an edge, you can have a personal website to show your work. As a beginner, it's important that you have crafted these samples during your training, right? That gives you an edge. Another rule of thumb is check out other people's CVs in the field you are applying for as an inspiration so that yours can be strong. We are talking about building a strong resume that employers will not be able to trash or throw away when they see it, right? So look at other people. What does their CV look like? And then tailor yours. You're not copying directly word for word, just modeling it, right? Now, for you to have a strong resume, there are a few components that your resume needs to carry for it to appear strong. Now, it must have that portion where it contains your contact details. That is your name, your address, your phone number, your email address. Now, you don't need to have your home address. That used to be an old practice. So no home address. You can just put the city you live in. If you're living in New York, just say New York, United States. Living in Abuja, Abuja, Nigeria, all right? Home address is a no-no for security purposes. So email address should also be clearly listed at the top of your resume. So another key component is your summary or objective. So your resume needs to have like a brief summary or personal statement that can actually highlight your skills, your experiences, and goals in a few sentences. Target, say, maximum of 5 lines. Maximum of 5 lines. The shorter, the better. So if you are able to communicate all of that in just 3 lines, fantastic. If you are not, target 5 lines maximum. Then a key component of any standard resume is also technical skills. Highlighting your technical skills is important for any tech resume, right? You have to list the programming languages that you've learned and that you're capable of delivering, the softwares you are an expert in. Just basically list any tool that you have proficiency in. Then the next thing is education, all right? Include your BSc or any relevant certificate or academic certificate that you have. Just mention it. You finish so and this is the name of your institution, and this is the name of the course you learn. Simple. Then highlight projects if you have any. Ensure that you highlight relevant projects that you have worked on, right? And the results you were able to achieve while on that project. Like if you did a training in programming and you guys did a project together as a team, or you did it as an individual, just highlight it. It's important that is listed in your resume. Another key component of a standard resume is work experience. Do you have previous work experience? If no, good and fine. Your project that you did can attest to something you've done previously, right? So list, and if you do have work experiences, let's say just one, it's still okay to list. You should include your job title, the things you were able to achieve. Most times people just list, okay, I did design. You need to be specific when you are saying these things. Write them in, like, quantify it and write it in the form of, okay, this is what was achieved while at it. Okay, you did design. What did the design achieve? Did it bring the customers coming back? Did it increase any revenue? Did it do anything, change anything at all? Just state it so that it's not just, okay, I did 5 designs for the company. I did this, I did that. No, make sure it's carrying a quantifiable number of, okay, this is what it was able to achieve. Now, another thing is to list your certifications, relevant certifications that you've earned. Very important. If you did digital marketing with Google, ensure you list it. Any relevant certifications to the role you are actually applying for, list it. And also another key component is award and honors. If you are privileged to be rewarded as best in this at any point in time in your life, or you had any honor that is worthy of being listed and is related to the tech industry, why not mention it? I think basically these are the major key components. And if you have any extracurricular activities at all that is relevant to the role you are applying, let's say you did a volunteer work for a tech company, you guys were able to train some kids to learn coding, whatever projects you participated in as a volunteer or whatever, ensure that you list it. It could give you an edge. Now, you can also have references. References is based on request. It's not compulsory. Some resume may not have it, but you can include it at the end of your resume if it is usually based on request or do. So I don't have references in mind. Depends on the job. If I see it's something that is required, I impute that. So that's that for having a strong tech resume. Another thing to know, another key step when trying to land a tech internship role is develop your technical skills, because this is what is required in the company you are going to work for, right? As much as soft skill is important, technical skill is also key. That's why they are employing you, to be able to solve a technical problem, right? So you need to have some technical skills to be considered for a tech internship. So start building them. If you've done that training and you just finished, keep practicing, keep taking online courses and attending boot camps to learn and improve on that skill. Like what you hear so far? Make sure not to miss any of our episodes by subscribing to us now and joining our community on Telegram at t.me/technoshow. Now, back to the show.
Okay, wow, Vicky, you actually did a nice job there. You explained everything you want need to include in a CV. I was even hoping on saying we should have one of the episode, or maybe one of the episodes in the future, we'll talk about building a resume, but you actually don't justice to that. So I'm not sure there will be a need for that in the future. And then, okay, moving on to another critical step to consider when looking for a role is, one, build a strong online presence. Many tech companies are searching for potential hires on social media and professional networking sites like LinkedIn. So make sure your online profile are up to date and professional. You can consider starting a tech related blog, or contributing to open source project to demonstrate your passion, your competence, and your knowledge in the field. And another thing, aside building a strong online presence, is Victoria, you mentioned it earlier. Let me talk more on it. Attending tech event and networking opportunities. Attending tech event and networking opportunities are conferences, meetup, and the rest can be a very good way to network with professionals in the industry. Learn about new opportunities. From there, you get to know what's happening in your field. You get to interact with your peers. You get to know people that are actually the right thing to do, the area to specialize in, the site to look for jobs. Depending on how active you are in the conference or in the event, you may be recommended for a job. I know a couple of people that got their jobs this way. It's because of how active they were in the tech event, they were recommended for a role. And also too, it will help to build attending tech events will also help you build a very good network for yourself, and also help you join communities that will help you go far in your tech career. And another thing to consider is be active. It's not just about having a LinkedIn profile, having a resume. Also be active. Apart from building a strong online presence and attending this thing, also be active. Your GitHub profile must always be updated. Maybe someone wants to hire you and let me see your GitHub profile, and it's the last time you did anything was like 5 years ago. No matter what you say, people as if you're serious. The same with design portfolio, or maybe if you're a writer, maybe your Medium page. It's nothing is showing there. It shows that you're actually not serious, or maybe you are not updated what is actually going on. But if the person open up and realize that you updated something, or you wrote something, or you added something last week or last month, or a few days ago, it shows that you're actually up to date with what is going on. It shows that, apart from that, it also shows the potential employer that you are actually passionate, proficient, and dedicated in the field. Yeah, it has to go a long way to sell you even more than you can really think of. It helps clear doubt in the minds of potential employers about your suitability for the role that you seek, and even the roles that you may not seek but you're actually suitable for. You may be given you may be called for an interview. Hey, I saw your profile on GitHub and I am impressed. Let's page? Can we just, things like that? You can actually get a role, an internship role that way, or, just try and be active. If you're a programmer, you're a designer, you're a writer, try and be active. Always update your portfolio, your profile, your page online. It will help you. Also, being active also involve taking part in open source projects, like Victoria earlier mentioned about it, taking part in open source projects, joining challenges, contests, and other activities. This thing goes a long way in boosting your visibility to not just your employer but other people that may, help you in getting through the hurdles of your career.
Fantastic. Moving on, there's another key step you need to take to actually get and land yourself that internship tech role rather. Now, having done all these that we've mentioned, the next step is for you to apply for the internships. So once you have your resume ready, your social profile is ready, you are active, you are visible, you are participating, you are networking, it is now time to apply for internships. Look for opportunities on job boards, company websites, and social media. And of course, the first place to start usually is LinkedIn. That's our first recommendation. And if you feel there's a specific company that you actually want to work for, you just need to go on their website or search for them on LinkedIn and then interact with them, reach out to them. Now consider reaching out to your alumni from any of the training institutes that you actually learned the skill, and then tell them you're available to actually work in any available position that is actually your field. And then they can also help contact recruiters. I know I4G on their own platform, they actually post job opportunities for their alumni in case they're interested, and that works really fine. So you can leverage on that. If you're on LinkedIn, ensure you are turning on your job notifications for the specific role, and use job sites like Indeed and others. Another thing to do is prepare for interviews. Having applied, you need to make sure you are prepared to showcase your skills and enthusiasm for the industry. Research the company and practice answering common interview questions. Ensure that you're prepared to actually discuss your skills and experiences in depth and demonstrate your problem-solving abilities. Now, are just a few interview tips. I'm not going to explain them in depth. We might do a separate episode to talk about how you can actually nail your interview for that role. But I'll just list like a few tips you need to have. Now, as you prepare for your interview, ensure that you practice answers to some technical questions that you're applying for. Just check online for popular technical questions that they may ask in line with the role you are applying for. I'll consider working on that. Also, prepare to answer some behavioral questions. Like we've always mentioned, soft skill is important. So they will definitely want to know your soft skills, your abilities in that area, not just your technical skills, but they want to know your communication and problem-solving abilities, your teamwork ability, and all of that. So prepare ahead of that. And also, as you're prepared for interview, make sure you dress professionally if it's going to be a physical one. And even if it's going to be a virtual interview, definitely you turn on your camera. You still need to look smart, okay? So dress properly. Now, during interview, ensure you are showing a positive attitude. You're enthusiastic about the role. You're passionate and eager to learn and open-minded during that interview. This will give the employers or recruiters a good impression about who you are. Another thing to note while preparing for interview is be prepared with questions. It's important. People don't ask questions. They think it's only the recruiters that are supposed to ask questions. Ask questions at the end of the interview. You can just check online for possible and thoughtful questions that you need to ask in line with that company and the role itself to ensure that, okay, this company is a good fit for you and this company's culture is also a good fit and you can actually do what is required. So it's important to ask questions and also follow up. Another key tip is follow up after an interview. Now, that doesn't mean you are desperate or anything. You can simply follow up if you have your email address. Let's say you can just send messages or email like, thank you for having me today. It was a pleasure to be interviewed by you. I look forward to blah, blah, blah. Whatever you can come up with that is actually nice, right? So remember, the interview process can be a nerve-wracking experience, but if you prepare and have a positive attitude, you can go a long way. Whether you get the job or not, it also helps you learn and, grow and be better. Okay, so being prepared actually helps you, it helps increases your chances of winning a tech role in 2023. So it's important to practice all of these skills that we've just mentioned. Samuel?
Okay, thank you. Wow, we've actually done a great job there. But as you rightly put, we will still have subsequent episode on interview. Okay, in conclusion, learning an internship takes time and effort. Whether you are looking for a job or you're looking for an internship, it will actually takes time and effort. So, and you must be ready to receive tons of rejection mail. People in the tech industry understand this. If you're actually looking for a role or applying for a job, you'll be ready to get hundreds of rejection mail. In fact, at a point, you should even be seeing rejection mail as a part of the process. Just trust the process and enjoy the flow. Don't let it deter you. Don't be discouraged. I know it can be raking. Applying for like 30 roles and no one is calling you for even in an interview. Actually, it may discourage you, but you should understand that that's how the system works. A lot of people actually had worse than that. So you should be prepared for something like this. Keep working on your skill, build your network, apply for opportunities. All this will increase your chances of landing an internship role in 2023.
Oh yes, and what else do we have to say than to wish you all the best in your search? We really wish you all the luck that you need, and keep us posted and follow us on our social media, because we do from time to time post available jobs, especially on the Telegram channel, post available job opportunities for beginners and even entry level and intermediate. So keep your eyes on our page to see what may be a good fit for you. Thank you for joining us this week. Catch you next week for another insightful episode.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for being a part of today's conversation on The TechNats Show. Do follow us on social media at The TechNats Show. Join our growing tech community on Telegram at TechNats Show so you'll never miss any updates. If you find our content valuable, would love you to drop us comments or likes, or you could share it with your friends too. Catch you next week.